Ronaldo Inque. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about taboos.
We are talking about two big topics, stereotypes and death. These are things that people usually avoid talking about, but now I think it's time to make an open conversation.
Okay, let's start with stereotypes. Victoria, why do you think stereotypes are such a big deal?
Well, stereotypes are everywhere. They are ideas we think about certain things about groups or people, and usually they are wrong. The problem is that we don't always notice we are doing it. And when we do it, we can make people feel bad because it challenges the way we think.
Yeah, people usually get defensive when you point out a stereotype, even if you don't really mean it, but nothing is going to change if we don't talk about it. So we all have to be willing to talk about these things and challenge and question these stereotypes and ideas that we have of people and everything.
Exactly, and sometimes it's hard because we grow up hearing certain things, so we don't think it's bad. So we don't always notice how these stereotypes is leak out into our daily life.
Some common types of stereotypes are gender stereotypes, like one common one would be like men don't cry, and nationality stereotypes like Americans are loud and always eat fast food, and some economic stereotypes would be that poor people are lazy, which is not true totally. So I think we have to change these ideas and really be willing to challenge them. Imagine one day there's a new kid and the teacher says, "Hi everyone, say hi to Max. This is a new kid." Everybody looks at him and starts making their assumptions about him. One student says, "He's wearing a football jersey, he must be a jock." Another student says, "But he has glasses, he must be a total nerd." And a third student said, "He has tattoos, he must be a troublemaker." Max looks at them and says, "So am I a football player, a genius, or a villain?" The teacher laughs and says, "Congratulations, Max. You just explained stereotypes way better than I could have." Alright, let's talk about that, Ronaldo Inque. Why do you think that is such an important thing and it's so hard to talk about?
Death is tough because it's something we're all afraid of. So no one likes thinking about it, especially when it involves thinking about losing someone that we care about. So it's just uncomfortable to talk about it, so people usually avoid it.
And it's just not about dying, it's also how we deal with death. Everyone thinks differently about death, and that can make things more uncomfortable and confusing. When we don't talk about it, people feel alone while dealing with it. But if we talk about it, some people can feel uncomfortable or weird.
Exactly. If we were more open about that, maybe it wouldn't be so scary or awkward to talk about it. So it would help people to feel less alone when they're going through tough times. As I said, people usually avoid talking about it, but in Mexico, we have a different perspective about it. We don't just acknowledge death, but we also celebrate it. The Day of the Dead is a perfect example. Instead of being sad, we create altars. We decorate and offer food to our ancestors. So it's not about forgetting the pain of the loss, but about keeping the memory of our loved ones alive. So when many cultures see death as the end, we see it as a continuation, like a connection between the living and the dead. Maybe if more people embrace life and death like we do, they wouldn't fear it so much.
So what's your personal opinion about death being a taboo topic?
Definitely, death is a curious topic and a taboo in many cultures. But besides death and stereotypes, there are a lot of curious taboos all around the world. For example, in Japan, sticking chopsticks right up on the rice. In China, giving a clock as a gift. In Italy, placing a hat on a bed. In Turkey, chewing gum. Touching someone's head in Thailand. Open scissors in Egypt without using them. Turning a bread upside down in France, cutting pasta in Italy, placing shoes on a table in the UK, singing in a table at the dinner in Russia, cutting a cake before midnight in New Year's Eve in Spain, and a lot more.
That's right. Also the things like pointing at a rainbow in Hawaii, writing in red ink in South Korea, whistling at night in Russia, opening an umbrella in Egypt, using the left hand in India, calling someone by his name at night in Vietnam, putting directly at the moon in Malaysia, cutting your nails at night in Japan, and more topics all around the world.
Thank you guys. This has been a really interesting talk. And for all our listeners, thank you and see you the next one. Bye.